In this video, we're going to learn a little bit about bonds and how we can price them. So, given our example, we have 500 bonds, each have $1,000 denomination. You should note that bonds generally have $1,000 denomination. Sometimes the problems you might see might assume that you already know that. So it's $500,000 total when we multiply the bonds times the $1,000 denomination. It's a 5-year bond and they're paying interest every 6 months. The stated interest rate is what's printed on the security, and it's 6% annual. And since they're paying every 6 months, that ends up being a 3% payment of, so we multiply 500,000 times 3%, and that'll give us our interest payment right here of 15,000. At the time that they went to market, the market rate was 8% annual. So again, we have to cut this in half at 4%. So the market interest rate is what you're going to use as part of the pricing of the bond. In order to price the bond, we're going to go up here and click on formulas, and you can go to Financial and scroll down to PV, and you'll get the pop-up box. And the rate that we're using, remember, is the market rate. The number of periods. I'm putting the payment in as a negative. I'll explain why in a minute. Same with the total face value. Type I'm leaving blank. The payment comes at the end of every 6 months. That's an ordinary annuity. I can type in a 0 or leave it blank. So in this situation, these bonds would be issued for about $459,000. That allows the investor to put the money in, receive $15,000 at the end of each 6 months, gets the full 500 at the end of the 10th period, and they earn an 8% interest. So if the interest rate at the market was the same as the stated interest rate, let's see what happens. They would be issued at par. You would earn the correct amount, and so there's no need to discount them. If the interest rate were less, the market is only paying 4%. Well, what's going to happen is that everybody's going to want our bonds. We're paying 6%. So the price is increased. And so the investor would put in $544,000 plus 913, and in return they would end up getting $15,000 every 6 months, and they would only get $500,000 at the end. And this is equivalent to the market rate of interest. So I'm going to go back to our original example, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to do the amortization table for this bond. One last thing, the reason I use negatives when I put in the payment in the face value of the bond is that Excel will compute it as inflows versus outflows. So when the investor is putting in 459, 445 on one end, and out from the corporation comes 15,000 each 6 months and 500,000 at the end.